falou em borderline content em uma outra resposta sua, e agora você abordou um pouco essa questão de os criadores de conteúdo já saberem mais ou menos as regras, embora não conheçam no detalhe o algoritmo, mas têm uma ideia, uma noção, e isso faz com que eles encontrem brechas para burlar. O borderline content, que é o que ele mencionou antes, eu queria dar um exemplo, mas você me corrija se eu estiver errada, mas em vez de você dizer num vídeo a eleição foi fraudada, você diz, poxa, a gente não pode mais nem se questionar se a eleição foi fraudada? E aí você está fazendo uma pergunta, mas a ideia é a mesma. E como que esse tipo de burla, digamos, é tratado por vocês? Porque, no final, a mensagem foi passada, ela só foi passada num tom diferente, num tom de questionamento. E isso vem sendo feito por vários criadores de conteúdo. A própria Jovem Pan, a própria Fox News também faz isso. Não sei se especificamente no YouTube, mas na TV, com certeza. Então, sempre questionando, mas passando a mensagem que eles querem passar. Como filtrar isso? E classificar isso como uma coisa fora das regras de vocês?
Certainly one of the more challenging areas of navigating content moderation and expression of thought is using more coded language in some contexts or speech that may be mindful of what the rules are. What you could think of as borderline speech. So you were mentioning some examples of this. The notion of allowing for open debate and dialogue is very important, we think, as a platform. And we may find it offensive. We may not personally like to watch it. But as an open platform, if it doesn't cross our line, we still permit it. That said, we don't think that it warrants having a wide audience. And that's where we actually reduce its ability to be discovered. Our recommendation algorithms that we were talking about before are very powerful. And if content is borderline, we don't actively promote it. And we have systems in place that allow us to detect that it is borderline and restrict its visibility or ability to be recommended. And I think building off of your question, what you might then ask is, well, if someone is watching it, even if we're not actively recommending it, what's our responsibility then? So it's not being prominently surfaced in YouTube search. You're watching other videos on YouTube and we're not recommending it there, but it's still on YouTube. So what do we do in that case? We have launched a number of features that we think of as contextual cues or information panels across YouTube, where if a user is watching content about a subject that might be more prone to misinformation or conspiracy, we display context around the video that helps that user understand more about the given topic. So some of the more evergreen examples of that would be things like conspiracy theories on world events, the moon landing, for example, or criminal conspiracies. A well-known example in the US context is QAnon, that some folks might be familiar with. But in the more recent example of the Brazilian election, there was, of course, debate and discussion about the results, about military intervention, about e-voting. Those are topics that are prone to misinformation, prone to conspiracy. And if a user is watching a video about those topics, if they're watching a video about e-voting, if they're watching a video about election results, we display an information panel alongside the video with authoritative information from the TSE, who's been a really important partner in our election work, and link out to the TSE to help the user see the basics right next to the video, and then if they'd like more information, to click out to the TSE. And those are the types of contextual cues that we have promoted over 6.5 billion times over the course of the Brazilian election. So really helpful in those cases where the content might be borderline, doesn't violate our policies, but providing quality or authoritative information is so important.